Ethan lived in a small suburban town in Oregon, surrounded by tall pine trees and friendly neighbors. He was known as the most honest kid in his entire class. Whether it was about homework, games, or who took the last cookie from the jar, Ethan always told the truth. His parents often said, "Ethan, you may not be the fastest or the smartest, but your honesty makes you truly special." Ethan would smile shyly and nod. He didn't think honesty was something to brag about. It was just the right thing to do. One bright Monday morning, as birds chirped outside his window, Ethan packed his backpack and ran to school. He didn't know that today, his honesty would be tested like never before. When Ethan reached class, his teacher, Mrs. Thompson, a kind woman with glasses and short curly hair, had a big announcement. "Good morning, class. Today we'll have a surprise quiz," she said cheerfully. The students groaned. Ethan gulped. He had studied, but surprise quizzes always made him nervous. Mrs. Thompson handed out the papers and said, "Remember, no cheating. Honesty matters more than your score." As pencils scratched across papers, Ethan noticed his best friend, Jake, peeking at another student's answers. Ethan's heart thumped. Jake was his closest friend. They always played basketball together after school. Ethan looked down, torn. Should he ignore it? Should he tell the teacher? He remembered what his parents had taught him. Do what's right, even if no one is watching. After class, Mrs. Thompson began collecting the quiz papers. Ethan's heart raced. Jake leaned over and whispered, "Don't tell anyone, okay?" Ethan nodded, but his chest felt heavy. All through lunch, he couldn't enjoy his sandwich. Finally, as the bell rang for the end of the day, Ethan took a deep breath and walked to Mrs. Thompson's desk. "Ma'am, I need to tell you something," he said softly. He told her everything, how Jake had cheated. Mrs. Thompson listened quietly and nodded. "Thank you, Ethan," she said gently. "You did the right thing. But remember, telling the truth can sometimes make people upset. Stay brave." Ethan walked home slowly that day, feeling both proud and scared. That evening, his phone buzzed. It was Jake. "You told on me, didn't you?" Jake's voice was filled with anger. "You're not my friend anymore." Ethan's eyes filled with tears. He put down the phone and sat silently by the window, watching the sunset fade into the night. The next few days were tough. Jake and a few classmates avoided Ethan. Some whispered behind his back. "Teacher's pet," they called him. Ethan tried to focus on his studies, but it was hard. Even recess wasn't fun anymore. He sat alone on a bench, watching others play. One day, Mrs. Thompson called him aside. "Ethan," she said gently, "being truthful can be lonely at first, but in time, people see who you really are." Ethan nodded. That night, he told his parents everything. His mom hugged him tightly and said, "The truth may hurt now, but it shines forever." His dad smiled and said, "Son, honesty is like the sun. Even when clouds hide it, it never stops shining." Those words stayed in Ethan's heart. A week later, something unexpected happened. The school held a science fair, and everyone had to make a project. Jake's model volcano was amazing, colorful, and perfectly built. He proudly showed it off to everyone. But just before the judges arrived, Jake's volcano tipped over and broke apart. The pieces scattered everywhere. Jake's face turned pale. "Oh no, I can't fix this in time." Everyone gasped, everyone except Ethan. Without thinking twice, he ran over and said, "Jake, I'll help you." They both worked quickly, gluing the parts back together. The judges arrived just in time to see the volcano erupt beautifully. Jake looked at Ethan speechless. "Why did you help me?" he asked softly. Ethan smiled. Because friends help each other, and I told the truth, not to hurt you, but because it was right." Jake lowered his head. "I'm sorry, Ethan. I was mad, but you were brave. I shouldn't have cheated. You're the best friend I could ask for." From that day, Jake and Ethan became inseparable again, but this time, their friendship was built on trust. At the end of the year, during the school assembly, Mrs. Thompson walked onto the stage. This year, the Character of the Year award goes to Ethan Parker. The crowd clapped loudly. Ethan's eyes widened in surprise. He walked up shyly as Mrs. Thompson handed him a golden certificate that read, "For always telling the truth, even when it's hard." As he looked out at the audience, he saw Jake clapping the loudest, smiling proudly. Ethan realized that the real reward wasn't the certificate. It was the respect and trust he earned by standing up for the truth. Years passed. Ethan grew up, went to college, and became a science teacher, just like Mrs. Thompson. He often told his students the same story. "Once, I told the truth when it was hard. It cost me a friend for a while, but it gave me something greater, self-respect." One of his students asked, "Was it scary to tell the truth?" Ethan smiled. "Yes, but being honest means being brave. And bravery is what makes a person truly strong." Always be truthful, not because others expect it, but because it builds your character, earns respect, and lights your path wherever you go. Thank you for watching. If you loved this story, give it a thumbs up. And subscribe for more motivational stories that inspire honesty, courage, and kindness.